Hi, my name is Bill Shander. I'm the founder and CEO of Buzub, and what Buzub is we are a lifestyle and technology company which is helping solve the problem, helping people to express themselves and to link their online and offline worlds. We do that with something that we call visual URLs, and so this is a visual URL. And what it is it's a series of 2 to 4 icons that are unique to you, and you pick your icons to represent you, your interests, your likes, and then you put it onto gear such as t-shirts and eventually hats, and we have business cards right now and stickers, and you wear them out and about in the real world, and what you're doing at that point is you're expressing a little bit about who you are, and at the same time people could then go to buzub.com and look you up right now by looking through categories of icons. Once they find the match, which is your icon set, they get bounced to whatever online destination you choose to bounce people to. So it really is a URL shortener. I like to think of it as we're like GoDaddy meets Bitly, and they had a love child that looks like Facebook Flare, because we're the registrar of the domain name, and we have it's like a URL shortener, and of course it's sort of Facebook Flare like. We think our primary audience is probably younger people to start. We launched in September, and right now we're in the customer acquisition phase. So we are looking to refine our product market fit and figure out who's the best audience to go for at first. And it's a lot of fun. We think our primary vehicle, or primary use case is probably kids who are just out and about doing what kids do, expressing themselves. They like to wear t-shirts and fashion and do their hair in certain ways. It's all about their personal brand. But potentially the dating scene, the college orientation, a lot of potential use cases where this could come in handy. So that's Buzub. So the primary hurdle that we face is that I have another company which is called Beehive Media. We're a web design and development company, and when we get busy, Buzub and historically has sort of fallen by the wayside. So over the past year or so, probably a year and a half, it's taken a while for us to finally get Buzub launched because we would get sidetracked. I finally am in the process of sort of restructuring things a little bit, where I think we're better able to handle some of the overflow on the one business, and I'm able to devote more time to Buzub. So that's one hurdle that we're in the process of overcoming, and I think it's going pretty well. And I would say another hurdle is that we're a bootstrapped company, so we have a little bit of money in the bank, and we're in the process of now trying to do some product market fit and marketing and to figure out how to get users, and that is potentially an issue. Obviously we're not bankrolled, but the idea is to get some growth and some traction, and then either raise money or hopefully be able to grow just on the revenues that come in. But we shall see. We haven't really had any major stumbles yet. We're new, and we did just launch. We definitely have sort of shifted the ideas for the product along the way a little bit, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so. No major pivots yet, but my guess is that down the road we may come across one. We're in the process right now of figuring out how to do one really exciting key feature of the product. Ideally, the idea has always been that the advantage of this is that this is human readable, and I'm already expressing a little bit about who I am. I'm a geeky hockey player, okay? So that's a good thing, and it's really important. And it's one of the things that we have over a typical QR code. But what QR codes have, of course, is the ability to just go and get redirected to your destination. The idea was that this would be both. And I think we actually may have figured out how to do that. We have a demo working that this will behave like a QR code with an iPhone snap. So we're very excited about that, and it's conceivable that that could be our first, not stumbling block, but it's really more of an opportunity, in that we might find that we pivot the idea a little bit to orient more towards that, maybe just from a marketing standpoint. So I guess so far we've had many opportunities, and figuring out which one to pursue has been the major challenge, and no big stumbles yet. But I've been in business a long time. I know there's going to be one coming. And I'd rather not try to anticipate it too much right now because you don't want to make it happen. I troll Twitter for content constantly. So there's not like one particular blog or direct source of information necessarily. I'm reading anything I can find, and it comes from a variety of places. I've actually found Startup Weekly videos to be really interesting and helpful. I read 500 Startups, I read Venture Hacks, I read a bunch of those things. Y Combinator is a great source. But really, I'm just looking at Twitter, and all the people that I follow are constantly posting things that I find interesting. So I would say that I've been getting really taking a much closer look into lean development and customer development recently. And we started Buzub as, here's an idea, we think it's a good idea, let's build it, and then let's figure out how to market it. And obviously in the lean startup and customer development process, that's kind of ass backwards. But now I'm actually looking at it much more from that standpoint. So I'm trying to try to take baby steps, try to test, try to iterate from where we are now. And so like this QR code idea that I mentioned is something that we're going to do a minimal viable product for that feature, and then take it from there and test it and talk to people about it and to push it out. We did do a survey and we have talked to people, and that actually is the number one feature that people that we talk to are looking for. So we're trying to go down that road. So I would say that's not necessarily a resource, but a way of thinking. And it's helping guide some of the things that I am reading these days. I'll devote more time to those types of posts than others, I guess, right now. Yeah, business is always, what's the next abyss that you might be staying at the edge of? And, right now we're in customer acquisition. And this idea in particular, we're not solving... email inbox, right? Everyone hates email. Email's a nightmare. If you can solve the email problem, you're going to have a business. It's like a guarantee, right? If you do it well. We're not solving what I think is perceived to be a major problem. We're not at, aspirin versus vitamins. We're not really aspirin, but I think we're a really cool vitamin, and I think that our market actually does need this. They need to express themselves. They need to connect online and offline. But it's not a known pain point. So we have customer education to accomplish. We're sort of alone in what we're doing. It's kind of a weird idea. So what that all means is that this kind of has to be a hit. This has to become popular and a hit for it to be successful. So the abyss is that we're not good enough marketers, or we're not communicating the idea well enough, or we run out of money before we can get the message out there, or we don't get enough press, and blog coverage, and that could happen. So that's one abyss. Definitely, is just finding people to find out about us and for them to understand it and to try it and to like it. Just a minor problem, or minor potential problem. The other thing that I'm thinking about right now in terms of, it's not really an abyss, it's again more of an opportunity, is this QR code thing, because, we're competing in this space right now where QR codes are super hot. There's a lot going on in the space, but what we are is like a QR code with a personality, and I think there's a huge opportunity there if we can figure out how to market it correctly. And so I guess it's the same issue. Our abyss is also our opportunity. I wish I had a long list of people, like specific names that inspire me. And I hate to be cliche about it, but one of those people would definitely have to be Steve Jobs. And the main reason is that, here's someone who has always led. He has this vision, and he gets his team to execute on it, and he's always ahead of the curve, and there are always the naysayers and the doubters, and yet he changes industry. And that's remarkable. It's very, very rare. I think that there are a million small entrepreneurs doing that every day. And those who are able to translate that into a big success are few and far between. But when I'm trolling Twitter for content and you know, these various blogs and media outlets, I'm always looking for stories like that to be encouraged, because I think our idea is that type of an idea. Not, you know, it's not as world changing as Apple. I'm not trying to claim that, but it is. It's ahead of a curve idea. You know, I do get a lot of quizzical looks when I mention it to people, but I'd say 70% of people go, "Man, that's pretty cool," which makes me think that we're onto something that, you know, it's just getting people sort of thinking a certain way about it. So the people who inspire me are the ones who are able to come up with an idea that's a little bit ahead of the curve or a little bit out there, and yet they know that it's kind of a good vision, and they're able to translate it to the masses. I mean, another example, of course, is Twitter. It's like people say, "Why would you want to tell people what you had for lunch?" And of course, that's not what it was about. And Evan Williams and Biz Stone, those guys knew that it was more than that. So, you know, have a vision, you know, make it come true, and communicate it to the world and get it out there. That's inspirational, and that's what we hope to accomplish.